these aren't the worst people in the world. They certainly are like many of the people that we see on television, in the entertainment world. It's a world where people are looking for attention because that's how they make their money. And for some reason, mostly jealousy, I think, a lot of people want to pick on Meghan and say that that is her fault, that that is her major problem, that she wants attention. But that's the industry she's in, and all of the people want attention. And I was really horrified when I heard about her being at an award ceremony, which honored a lot of people, including Janet Jackson, which I'm sure is a person that Meghan admires for her music and just the general things that she's done to help people in the world. And Elton John was there, and I'm sure that's a person that Harry admired because he attended his mother's funeral and went into this whole big hullabaloo about how he liked Diana and his song Candle in the Wind and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm sure that was a reason that Harry wanted to attend that ceremony to honor Elton John for what he did after his mother died, that he remembered from childhood. And I was horrified by how rude Elton John was. Elton John is a person who has acquired a lot of grace over the years. I mean, he's a flamboyantly gay person. There was a lot of prejudice against him, a lot of hate against Elton John and his partner. I know when they adopted 2 children, there was a lot of skepticism. These boys are going to be bullied. These kids are going to be sexually violated by these flamboyantly gay people and so forth. But people tried to give grace to Elton John and his partner because they felt that was the right thing to do. And so when Harry comes along and Meghan, and they are trying to give honor to people that they've known their whole lives, and they're not looking for spectacular honors. They're just sitting there in the audience, from what I'm told. Naturally, they're going to be well recognized. They're in hundreds of podcasts every day. People are making tons and tons of money off this couple, and they're going to be recognized. They're going to be in the spotlight because people know that if they find a picture or something of Meghan and Harry doing something, they can put that on their podcast, they can get looks, they can get likes, and it can make them money. But they don't bring it on themselves. That's just the way their life is right now. So the story is untold. They were sitting in the audience. Elton John was being honored. Elton John gave kudos to a couple of people that helped his career. And then he said he wanted to focus on Meghan. And he talked about how horrible she was and how she was always seeking attention and blah, blah, blah. And he would be happy if she'd never attended. Well, this wasn't his honor. This was for all of those people on the list to be honored by the music industry. And then there was some question about whether or not Meghan had gotten an honor. I didn't quite understand that, and I don't know the whole story about that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm going to just say Meghan necessarily was not there for the same reason Harry was. I'm sure partly she is supporting Harry in his fond memories of Elton John, but she was probably there more for Janet Jackson and more of a supportive figure for her husband. Her husband. I just thought the whole thing was crazy. And then, seeking attention, well, Elton John went to the funeral of Diana. Everybody was saying nice things. They had the music, they had the ceremony. Elton John was seeking attention at Diana's funeral. He came out singing Candle in the Wind and tried to make it a very emotional moment and said he would never sing that song again after Diana's funeral because blah, blah, blah. I mean, the song was really about Marilyn Monroe, but he wanted now to redirect it towards Diana. But he was doing that to seek attention and to sell his record. He was doing that for himself. He wasn't doing that for Diana. I never remembered him being the best friend of Diana. So where did all this come from? Well, it was phony. It was fake. It was something that a showman would do, somebody in the entertainment industry who wanted to make money off this big event, this big worldwide event Diana killed in a tunnel. Very dramatic. She was separated from Charles. I think they were actually divorced. She was dating. She was coming back from spending some date time. And she and her Muslim boyfriend were killed in a car crash. Lots of questions about that. But this was a big event. Elton John, seeking attention for himself, came out with this whole Candle in the Wind thing, which wasn't even about Diana. It was about Marilyn Monroe, who died of drug addiction, and she led a life of prostitution. So he's criticizing Meghan for doing the exact same thing he did when he was younger. And this whole explosion at the awards ceremony was to put attention on himself. There was no reason to call out Meghan Markle for sitting in the audience, sitting there applauding, clapping. Sure, people were going to take her picture because you never knew whether something was going to happen at the awards where they could make money off of a picture that they would take during the award ceremony. So, totally unnecessary, extremely rude, and I felt that, he does the exact same thing that Meghan Markle does. So, I just want to say to Harry and Meghan, keep going. You are doing great. I think you have a lot of admirers. There are certainly a lot of young people who are learning about the hate and exploitation that others may feel against a person for really no reason at all, and that you are showing it's a hard road to go down, but you can do it. You stick together. Your family is not your parents because they have turned on both of you, both sides, showing the pettiness in their hearts. And you now have a core family of yourselves, Harry and Meghan, your children, and those who are real supporters. And you can tell the real supporters because they're going to be there regardless of the theatrics, regardless of the attention-seeking behavior that others do in trying to get into your sphere. People want to be in your sphere, but it is very popular now for people to be in your sphere as haters. That's the popular wave. So keep going, protect your family, Get rid of the bad vibes, get rid of bad people, put them outside your sphere. Don't be trying to seek love from people who are making money by hating you, because of course that's never going to work. They're always going to go towards the money. They're never going to support you as long as they can make money hating you. And so I think you're doing the right thing. Harry has always been a church-going person, and I think that is one of the skills of Harry, and he can bring that into his world in the United States. He can bring that teaching that he's had his whole life about the Episcopal Church, the teachings from the Bible, the trials and tribulations that Jesus went through when his haters were trying to bring him down because they were jealous of the attention he was getting. And you just have to go by your inner spirit, continue doing your best, continue with your mission. I think the trip to Colombia was fabulous, and it certainly put a spotlight on Colombia. I really didn't know anything about Colombia until your trip, and I thought it was very, very interesting. And it showed that there are dangerous parts of Colombia, and there are safer parts. And there are lots of nice people there who are just normal people. It's not a place where everybody is going to be trying to kill visitors, and that the reason you had such a large entourage of security is because of what was happened at the time to Donald Trump, that whole scene where there were bullets flying as he spoke at a rally. People said, well, now everybody needs security. All of the people in the royal family want extra security. All the people who are doing other political things want extra security. And so naturally, when you went to Colombia and everybody was talking again and again, louder and louder about the dangers of even going to Colombia, naturally, you didn't have much time to adapt, and you got extra security. That's normal, that's natural, that's good common sense. And the cost of that trip is negligible. We see how expensive marketing is. Colombia was marketing their country to the world. When they invited Harry and Meghan to visit, they knew that this was going to be a visit that everybody in the world was going to see. They were marketing their country as a place that people should come and visit. Marketing is expensive. Every day, we're told how political candidates need more and more money in order to get their name out in the media. And it costs hundreds of millions of dollars, sometimes $1 billion to get that marketing done. So the expense that Colombia had in bringing Meghan and Harry to Colombia were just marketing costs. The average, normal marketing costs. Marketing is expensive. Marketing is a business. Marketing takes spectacular things to get the attention of everyday people from what they're doing every day to look at what event is happening elsewhere. So don't be upset about these marketing costs. Colombia can afford it. Every day in our government, people pay $5 here, $2 there, and it accumulates to cover marketing costs. Now, if you look at Britain, they do that all the time. They have the royals who are getting raises, who are going places, who are buying things. They have like 3, 4, 5 homes, and all of those homes take money because you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for gardeners, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for painting, general upkeep, all kinds of things. And all of that money comes from the citizens. It's money the citizens would like for other things, but they know that to market Britain and to get visitors to Britain to see the palaces and all of the hype around the royal family, it takes a lot of marketing dollars. And so that is a normal expense. It's very expensive, but it is a normal expense for a country when they have something they want to show off. And that's what Colombia did. They were showing off their country to the world. They were showing the fun things that people can do in Colombia. They were showing the safe spaces, and I thought they did a great job. So kudos to Colombia. I enjoyed watching the trip, and I think Meghan and Harry had a good time. They were safe. They never looked like they were afraid, and so I think it was very successful. So that's basically what I wanted to say for this particular video. I wanted to congratulate Harry and Meghan on a successful trip to Colombia. I wanted to congratulate Colombia on a successful trip sponsored by Colombia and the citizens of Colombia, and for marketing the country. That's going to bring in lots and lots of dollars, much more than they spent marketing. They will recoup that money in dollars from people who will now come to visit, to spend 4 days, a week, whatever, in Colombia and enjoy themselves and report back to their friends and family that they had a great and safe time in Colombia. I want to congratulate all of the people who support Harry and Meghan. It's easy to jump on the I hate you train. They did that with Jesus. All the people who wanted to jump on the train to say, we hate you too, Jesus. In fact, we want to kill you, and they did kill him. So it's easy to jump on that train. Sometimes it's hard to be a supporter because, I'm not directly affected by Meghan and Harry, but I do see their struggle. And I appreciate that they are continuing on, that they are focused on their family, that they are smart in keeping all of the details of the trip limited to only specific persons who would have access to what happened on the trip, the words that were spoken, and so forth, and that they threw out the other photographers because all those other people were haters, and all they wanted to do was bring down the trip. They wanted to bring down Colombia. They wanted to bring down the vice president of Colombia, and so forth. So smart in keeping those people away, shut out, so all they can do is conjecture as to what happened really on the trip. And that really upset them probably the most. They weren't used to being shut out of an activity that related to a royal, Harry. Now, people are saying, well, they're not royals anymore. Harry will always be a royal. Harry has royal blood, and whatever he does, he will always be a royal. He will not be a royal who's working for the king and doing all of the charity work that the king has listed, but he will always be a royal. There will always be interest in what he's doing, where he is, what's happening to him, how safe he is, and so forth. So he's never going to be a non-royal. He's always going to be a royal. That is who he is. And he knows how to act like a royal. And people don't like that. People say, well, he's acting like a royal. We want him to act like, Joe from Miami. Well, he's not going to be Joe from Miami. He's always going to be a royal. He's going to talk like a royal. He's going to act like a royal. He's going to dress like a royal. And he knows how to do these royal visits. He's done them in the past. So that's how he's trained. That's his skill. That's his special knowledge. And he can share that with the world. We like to see Harry and Meghan go on these trips. We like to see how they're treated. We like to see how they react. And we like to see the fun that they have on these trips and enjoy their trips with them. So I just think you're a great couple. You certainly are sending a message to the world, to all of the people who have found themselves in the line of hate by various groups of people. And Angela 11, have you noticed how much better she's dressing since she joined the hate train? She used to look very frumpy when she was just writing books, and now she is all dolled up because she has found money in the hate train. And unfortunately, there is money in the hate train. And I think YouTube is responsible for a lot of the hate. And, if there is a lawsuit to be done, I think YouTube should be included because they know that Meghan is a specially sensitive person. She has discussed her suicidal ideation in the past, and for YouTube to allow all of these people to have channels just to spew hate, I think is unconscionable, and YouTube should be held responsible if ever a lawsuit is brought. Just save all those clips and bring them all at once, all of these channels that are trying to damage and hurt Meghan and Harry and their relationship. Nothing would make people happier than if Harry left Meghan and left the kids, abandoned them. But that would also bring down Harry. They would use that against him. Also, although they want Harry to leave Meghan, they know it's a double-edged sword, and if he ever left Meghan, that they would be able to say even nastier things about him for the fact that he left her and abandoned the kids. So, good going, guys. I support you, and I admire you. I admire your strength. You can find strength in family and in real supporters. You may find that certain businesses are running away because, of course, they would like to do business with Kate and William, who are going to be king and queen in the future. But there are many, many great designers out here who don't have a big name, who would love to come and dress Meghan, make special clothes for Meghan. And if Meghan put the word out, she could find all kinds of people who would make spectacular clothing for her and probably do it for next to nothing. So, just saying, there's plenty of places for Meghan to find support and love. We support your happiness. We want to make sure your children are safe, so make sure they do not get involved with the haters. The haters just want to find more to hate as they find less and less news from Harry and Meghan. They're still talking about the Oprah Winfrey interview. They're still talking about Harry falling on a dog dish. Old news. And they can't find anything else to talk about, so they keep rehashing all of this old stuff. But you guys keep going. Keep your stuff private. Make them pay for pictures. Keep your kids' pictures out of the news. And if you do put pictures out, put it in your own name so that they have to pay. Now, I think the X, the website, charges the news media like $50,000 or something like that a month in order to have access to some of the media that they keep private. So, that is kind of normal. You keep your stuff private. You keep your pictures in copyrighted in your own name. Make sure you have your name in lettering across the picture so that they know it's copyrighted. They know they have to pay for it. They know if they put it on any website, that website's going to have to pay for it. And do it that way. I think the way you did your Columbia trip, where you kept all of your events private, if people want information and pictures, they have to pay dearly to publicize that stuff. So, good going, guys. I support you. I love you. I love your kids. I love Doria. She's a tough woman. She's taking it like a soldier. So, take care. And I will talk to you later. Please like and subscribe. Bye.